My metal shell hides the mutated being within. I am Lightning, hero of the Piston Cup. But my world is not what it seems. Years ago, a plague wiped out most animals and humans. Only the most obsessed drivers survived by fusing their bodies with cars, becoming cybernetic organisms. I am one of them. My memories of being fully human are hazy. I live as a hybrid now, an engineered blend of man and machine. My exterior is a stylized race car, but inside I am part flesh, part circuitry, connected neurally to the vehicle. We are symbiotic, man and car dependent on one another. Our minds are melded, emotions shared. I feel the roar of my engine as my own heartbeat, my chassis as part of my body. At the stadium, when crowds cheer, am I man or am I machine? The lines have blurred. Sometimes at night I still dream of walking on legs instead of wheels. Though we overcame extinction through self-transformation, we also lost something. If you want to uncover more hidden truths about the characters, please follow my account.
So I just got home, and if you guys have been keeping up with my videos, then you know my last video I had to leave my house. I didn't have to, but I was too scared to stay here. I had somebody come and check out the house, and obviously they didn't find anything, and I don't know. So my cat has been pounding and pounding at one of the doors for like the last 10 minutes and just like crying to try to get in there. He's been pounding at that door to try to get in there. I don't know what's going on. Guys, that... What the hell? Hey! Cat is acting really freaking weird. The hell was that?
I am the strangest case in the history of Los Angeles, California. Hello, I am Walter Collins, and this is my story. What happened to me might be the saddest and strangest thing ever. I lived alone with my mom Christine in downtown Los Angeles. It was just the two of us, so my mom did everything she could to make me happy. If I wanted to go to a friend's house, I could do that. And if I wanted candy, I could also have that. Unfortunately, what was about to happen rocked the entire nation. One day, on March 10th of 1928, I asked my mom if I could go to the cinema with a couple of friends from school. She said certainly and gave me some money to go. This wasn't the first time I hung out with friends, so we never thought anything about it. However, things were about to take a horrifying turn as I suddenly disappeared on my way to the cinema, which was 10 minutes away from home. This triggered a nationwide interest, and the LAPD was pressured into following all kinds of leads that could lead to finding me. 5 months later, a boy appeared claiming to be me in DeKalb, Illinois. My mom was super happy and later paid his ticket to LA immediately.
Fucking broke down, man. Broken me, man. Mom!
I am responsible for several missing children in Salt Lake City. In the moonlit silence of the Salt Lake City cemetery, I, the White Lady, wander through the shadows of sorrow. The whispers of the wind carry echoes of heartache, and the tombstones stand as silent witnesses to the pain that binds me to this realm. Clad in the ethereal white that mirrors the moon's glow, I am forever trapped in the icy grip of loss. My story is one of tragedy, of a mother's anguish, a child lost too soon. In life, the pain was unbearable, and in death, it's an unending torment. As the night deepens, I search among the graves, the spectral glow of my form casting haunting shadows on the markers of the departed. My sobs blend with the rustle of leaves, a mournful melody echoing through the resting place of the departed. Those who dare to visit after the sun sets may catch a glimpse of my ghostly figure. But if I catch a glimpse of you, your child is mine forever. Beware, for the air thickens with the weight of my grief, and the stillness of the night holds the remnants of a mother.
I was forced to stay awake for a whole month. They called it the Russian sleep experiment, but it was a waking nightmare. We were volunteers, they said, but little did we know that our humanity would be the ultimate cost. They deprived us of sleep, leaving us to endure the cruel embrace of insomnia for days that felt like lifetimes. Our minds spun out of control, and our sanity slipped through trembling fingers. But the worst part was the mirror, the one-way glass that allowed them to watch us, to observe the descent into our own personal hells. In their eyes, we were mere lab rats, not people suffering in the throes of delirium and despair. One by one, we succumbed to madness, the terror and exhaustion becoming too much to bear. Our pleas for release were met with cold indifference. In the end, I was the last one left, the hollow echoes of my friends' desperate cries haunting me. I begged for death, and they finally relented. I walked out of that chamber, an empty husk of the person I once was, forever scarred by the horrors of the Russian sleep experiment. It was a fate worse than death, and I pray that the memories of our suffering never escape that accursed room to haunt the world.
I was a feral beast, bloodthirsty and depraved. I'm Tarzan. What you don't know is that I was raised by vicious man-eating beasts, not gentle apes. As an infant, a murderous tribe of Mangani who walked upright found me. They raised me as one of their own, teaching me to stalk prey and devour flesh. I excelled at hunting, mercilessly killing any creatures that crossed my path. The tribe celebrated my viciousness, rewarding cadavers to feast on. When I encountered humans, I saw only weak-minded animals to toy with before ripping apart. I descended on villages, leaving trails of bones and blood. It was only when I kidnapped Jane that things changed. She saw humanity buried in my savage soul and lovingly nurtured it. I abandoned my bloodthirsty upbringing for her affection. So while you may think of me as a charming prince, I was a remorseless monster, transformed by a patient heart. My noble guise conceals the rotten core of my upbringing. If you want to uncover more hidden truths about the characters, please follow my...
This Georgia lake is one of the most haunted lakes in America and has an extremely dark past. I must issue a trigger warning. Before the lake was made by building Buford Dam to generate power for the city of Atlanta in 1956, there was a thriving black community named Oscarville. It was home to over 1,000 African Americans and had churches, schools, and many businesses. But in 1912, the body of a white woman was found unalived just outside the town. A local mob by the name of the Night Riders mobbed the town, lighting everything on fire and making on the locals flee and abandon the town, many of them being put to rest with Oscarville. But even before the tragedy of Oscarville, it was home to the Cherokee and Creek tribes. The tribes had many burial grounds in the area where the lake sits today. Although they have claimed to have removed all the bodies, the technology and tools for ground penetration they were using at the time makes it extremely unlikely they were able to remove them all. Regardless if they did or not, it is a strong belief by the tribes that if you disturb the resting, it will release a lot of bad spiritual energy. Since the lake has been constructed over the remains of Oscarville and the burial grounds, 600 to 700 people have gotten stuck and unalived in the water. Many of them. Alcatraz Island Prison in California is the most haunted place in the United States, and I was unalive there. Hello, my name is undisclosed, but you can call me Urban. I was a prisoner at Alcatraz. If you don't know, the prison is on a rocky island in the middle of San Francisco Bay. Alcatraz was the most secure prison in the country. During its 29 years of operation from 1934 to 1963, it held the most dangerous criminals such as Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly. It was a 1.5-mile swim to the nearest land through the cold Pacific water, making it nearly impossible to escape. There was a special place in the prison called D Block, or the Hole, which was saved for the most severe offenders of the prison rules. I was put in the hole for misbehaving, and almost immediately after getting locked in, I saw a man with glowing eyes in the cell with me. I immediately started yelling for help, but during my time there, I was known as a joke among the guards, so they laughed it off and ignored me. This figure attacked me to the point where I was unalived, and when they guards did their investigations, I was covered in unexplained scratches and bruises that the cause of them still...
This movie is actually banned in 20-something countries.
Why?
The reason it was banned, because the director of the movie, he was arrested because they weren't sure if the body in the movie was a real person or not being killed. So it's about these 4 scientists. They're making a documentary about this tribe. I think it's like somewhere in the islands, right? They are cannibals. They pretty much just bring their cameras and kind of like interfere with their natural life. So they're cannibals, but what ends up happening though, they kind of plant things to make their documentary more interesting. Okay. So they would actually mess up and mess with their shit to make them angry or make them violent, and then get like footage of things. I'm pretty sure one person is actually killed, and it's real footage of a person being killed. There's a monkey that the head, oh, feel me?
They showed this.
Real animal. The reason it's banned is because this is not even a game. This is just like this actual violence.
Dad, I think she's back. What do you mean, who? The Serbian dancing lady. She found him. It's too late. Dad?
I am a cursed doll in Florida. Hello, I am Robert the doll. In 1904, there was a little boy named Eugene Otto. I was given to him as a gift from his father. Eugene was very excited because I was a life-size doll, and we played together all the time. Eugene gave me the name Robert and took me almost everywhere with him. But it didn't take long for Eugene's parents to start to notice some strange things happening around the house. Me and Eugene would talk to each other at night.
Can you help me?
But they could hear us through the door. Sometimes, when Eugene was gone, I would play with his stuff and they would hear me giggling in his room. But one day, I took things a little far and turned everything in Eugene's room upside down. The parents heard the large crash and opened the door to see me sitting on top of the flipped bed. They instantly took me out of the house, and I was put in a museum in Key West, Florida, where you can visit me today. But I am very angry for being trapped in this display case, and I curse anyone who disrespects me.
Dad, it's happening again. What? The Serbian dancing lady is back. She was spotted dancing on the streets at night. Never get close to her. Who's that? Run.
I curse the city of Detroit. Hello, I am the Nyan Rouge. When Detroit was first founded by Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, he was warned about me by a fortune teller, for I'm known for being a mischievous little creature. She told him,
appease the Nyan Rouge and treat him with kindness and respect.
But when we had our first encounter, he smacked me on the head with his cane and said,
"Get out of my way, you red imp."
So I cursed the entire city of Detroit and Cadillac himself. Throughout history, I have been spotted in the city right before a disastrous event took place. I was seen dancing right before the Battle of Bloody Run, the 1967 riots, and the 1976 ice storm that caused the power to go out for several days. To try and scare me away, every spring the people of Detroit hold a parade, dressed in disguises so I can't recognize them. Their goal is to chase me out of the city so they can lift the curse.